Welcome back to Finding the Truth series, where I present a step-by-step guide on how to find the truth of our existence. This will be part 7 of the series, and in this part I will be talking to you guys about the truth criteria. Now that we've determined that reality was created by an independent, unchanging being, we have to redefine what truth is. And truth is that which is in accordance with reality and is factual, and we said this in the first video. And this was taken from Merriam-Webster's dictionary. And we know that reality and facts are determined by God, as we explained in the previous video. Because if God is independent and is unchanging, He's the one who has creative ability, He's the one who created reality, and who created the facts in reality. Therefore, we can say that truth is determined by God. Understand this. This is very, very, very important. Truth, absolute truth. Truth as in the answers to the existential questions, the understanding of reality, everything is determined by God. And that is because He's the one who created reality and facts in the first place. So then we say that whichever truth claim or religion that can be proven to be from God is the truth. Okay? This is important, and this will help us find the answers to the existential questions. Now we also have to say what is not the truth. The truth is not the answers that come from human beings. Okay, this is very important. Answers to existential questions that originate from humans are not truths. They could be partially true, but the issue is that humans are inherently biased and they lack knowledge and they did not create reality. So you cannot say without doubt that humans have the truth. They do not, because when you're biased, you lack knowledge about reality. You're limited in your scope of understanding of reality, and you did not create reality. Only God did. Then humans do not have the truth. Okay, this is very important. So now we will create a criteria for determining the truth, so that we could assess various truth claims and religions. The first criteria should be that the truth claim or religion should describe God with the following necessary characteristics. These were the characteristics that we derived from logic in our previous video. God should be independent or self-subsisting. He should be unchanging, infinite, unlimited, knowledgeable, have the ability to create, be conscious, have a will, and be unitary. Now we will create a few other criteria. Before we do this, though, we should understand that most truth claims originate from intermediaries, and these could be messengers, prophets, etc. And a lot of these truth claims also come with some sort of revelation. Now, intermediaries that deliver messages from God can be a source of truth as long as if their message can be proven to be from God. If they can't be, then they won't be considered intermediaries. Therefore, our next two criteria will be to evaluate intermediaries and revelation. So criteria 2 says that if the message is delivered by an intermediary, the intermediary must be proven to be an intermediary, i.e. has contact with God. So I created a criteria here to help us determine if an intermediary is an intermediary. Now I developed this criteria by myself, and I will explain this criteria in more detail in the next video. But just so that you know, this criteria essentially talks about the various characteristics you would expect from the intermediary so that you could actually prove that it's an intermediary. Now, all of these characteristics don't necessarily have to be the case or have to be true, but it would greatly help in us being confident that this intermediary is actually an intermediary. Criteria 3 assesses the revelation brought by the intermediaries. So this is split into two parts. A, the revelation should be proven to be from God. In order to do this, first of all, criteria 2 will be very helpful in proving A as well, because if you could prove that an intermediary fits the criteria of an intermediary, then it'll also help to substantiate criteria 3A, which says the revelation can be proven to be from God. Now, taking the revelation by itself, it should have some characteristics that can support its origination from God. First of all, it should have some supernatural elements. For example, it could have prophecies that come true, and it could also state facts that were maybe unknown to the intermediary or the people at that time. And there could be other things. Number 2, the information in the revelation should be consistent with proven history and other facts. And number three, there should be no contradiction within the text itself and with reality. Because obviously, if it's from God, it should be consistent with reality. And obviously, if it's from God, the information within the revelation would be consistent with, facts, if it mentions those facts, such as scientific facts or historical facts and things like that. Now, 3b says the revelation must not be tampered with by other human beings, such as addition, subtraction, or alteration from the original message. This is because if they were altered by humans, then we would lose confidence in that religion being from God. Now, the minimal requirements to show that a revelation is not tampered with is manuscript evidence. Having manuscripts that can show us, dating back to when the intermediary revealed the message, that it is consistent with current revelation documentation, it's consistent with current scripture, and it doesn't have any contradiction. So just to summarize, the revelation has to be proven from God and has to be preserved. It can't be tampered with by other human beings. It has to be preserved from its revelation. Otherwise, it loses any credibility from being from God. So what if no truth claim or religion fulfills the criteria? In other words, what if God never revealed the truth to us? Well, if this is the case, we would remain theistic, but have no specific answers. So we would live life as is. Now, what if something does fulfill the criteria? Well, if this is the case, we would understand and abide by the message. Or at least we should. Why must we abide by the message? Well, because it is necessarily, strictly because God's status and our relationship to God. We are created by God. Our existence is dependent on God. Everything that we do is essentially dependent on God. So it would make sense to abide by his laws. Also, God knows and he is unbiased by definition. Therefore, abiding by God's commands would help to keep the society just. It would help to make just laws, because when you have an unbiased, all-knowing entity determining your laws, then your laws are going to be just. However, if you have human beings that are limited in knowledge and are biased, those laws are going to be unjust. So this is one of the benefits in abiding by God's law. And then the third is gratitude. Just for existence and for being created, having given everything that we have, it would only make sense to be grateful, same as how we might be grateful if someone was to give us a gift, or if someone was to give us a house for free. It would follow that you would be grateful and you would try to abide by what that person has to say. So now that we're going to be moving on to assessing various religions, I want to be clear that I'm going to be giving benefit of the doubt to the religions that I'm going to assess. I'm not going to disqualify them right away if they don't meet a very specific criteria, a very minute aspect of a criteria, just so that people of that religion are satisfied of our assessment of their religion, and so that we give a wholesome representation of that religion. Okay, with that being said, so in conclusion, the truth is that which defines God with the necessary characteristics that we came up with, that can be proven to be from God, and that the intermediaries that bring the revelation from God can be proven to be intermediaries, and that the intermediary's message or revelations can be proven to be preserved and can be proven to be from God. If the religion or truth claim abides by this criteria, then we will have confidence that this is the truth, and then we will follow it. I hope that makes sense, and I will see you in the next video.